Kenya is among the countries through which the equator passes, and Laikipia is among the counties where the line that divides the planet into two runs through in Nyahururu and Nanyuki. But there is some interesting dynamic on what happens to water when it is along the equator, on the northern side of the imaginary line, and on the southern side. Take a look.
We need to walk few meters either side of the equator, whereby we can realize the changes. So there is that minimum distance whereby the effect can take place. So we need to walk towards north. At this particular point, I always ask you guys to look at the behavior of the water. In the beginning, can you see the small particles turning?
Yes.
So we can't see much of it, not unless you let it drain.
Okay.
So once you let it drain, because the earth is still spinning, the motion is a little bit higher when the water is draining. Yeah. And that is when the whirlpool must come in.
What is a whirlpool?
The whirlpool is when the water is draining in the liver, there is that saturation of the water depending on which direction. Then eventually make use of the indicators now. We use them because the water is plain or colorless, to make it a little bit more visible for us to see the direction. So that's turning clockwise because we are in northern hemisphere. Then normally the spirals will be there. Can you see the spirals? So the spirals must glow the same direction. So the spirals resemble the ocean currents. Take an example, you are in an ocean, how the waves, water tides, and the climbing vines behave. North Pole clockwise, South Pole anti-clockwise. You need to see the difference between North Pole and South Pole.
Yes.
You need to do the same we did in North, but the difference is that the water is saturating in a different direction. Make use of the indicator or anything that we will plot on top of the water, and that one will tell us which part of the world we are. That's anti-clockwise. Yeah. So anything that we will plot and can be seen clearly will tell us that the water is spinning clockwise when we are in northern hemisphere. That's why we use something small to show us. Yeah. So that's clockwise direction north, anti-clockwise direction when we are in south, and then when we come to the middle, the water will just drain down straight.